Hello, everybody. Sorry I'm a little late. I got to set my alarm clock. It's all good. I'm here now. Even if you guys didn't tune into the last one. The reason why I missed a couple days last week is because my capture card broke. Stopped working. But got a new one and now I'm up and going. See what quest. Oops, shit. I got all this stuff, but I don't know what. Like that. Very shiny button. This is for quest. So that one's for quest. Oh well. Oh, it's hot. That was perfect.
gladdens school to see you here, for it means we draw ever closer to Sonder. Behold the dreaming, our true home. Walker in the weirdness. As I greeted you in the waking world, so do I welcome you once more. Ingvi believes you may unravel the burdens that weigh upon some of the Thoid. Without freeing them from these burdens, they cannot enter Mother's chamber, where each of us must drift into ever deeper dreaming, until at last we reach Sonder. Ingvi's burden is to guard the village of Thoid, to safeguard Mother, and to ensure that all members of the Thoid tribe journey towards Sonder. She awaits the right sign. When it comes, only then will she choose her fate. Life, unfulfilled duties, feelings that tether the soul, keeping it from sinking into the dreaming's embrace. Each of us carries burdens. Once, we of Thoid would end our vigil and return to wakefulness, striving to cast off these burdens through life itself. But your arrival ended the vigil. It began the dreaming, and Thoid may no longer wake, not unless such is Mother's will. The home of Thrym and Sidara, a love shattered by the waking world. Yet another sign that the waking realm is not meant for the living, but for the dead.
You, don't just stand there. Help me find Vilekin. I know that filthy swine is hiding somewhere around here. We have to find him. They call me Alfhild. I have sworn to watch over Sinya while she dreams Mother's dream. Now you know who I am, so help me find Vilekin. A filthy beast. A mongrel who tried to put his hands where they didn't belong. Oh, how I wish I had cut them off when I had the chance. But he fled. And now he's entered the vid. If he dares try to harm her again, I swear... Senya! I swore to protect her. But I failed. I chased Vilekin from her bedside, then from the tribe. But he still managed to worm his way into the vigil. I need to find him. As long as he's out there, Senya will never be safe. And because I saw him. I tried to give chase, but he's surprisingly good at slipping away in this place. He cannot be allowed into Sonder. There is no place for the likes of him among the dreaming. His very presence would be like poison. Good. I'll wait for you here. Bring me his head so I can finally dream in peace.
Behold, Walker, this is one of Mother's earthly faces. She watches over us now in the dreaming, as she once did in the waking world. I believe Mather watches your path with great intent, as do I.
Have you found him? Have you killed him? Oh, thank Mother. Senya is finally safe, and now I can see her again. Thank you. Wait, who are you exactly? You look like an outsider, yet you entered the dreaming. Walker in the weirdness. You? Oh, thank Mother. That means the vigil will soon end, and we will all be together. And I will see Senya again. I do. I swore to watch over her in her sleep, and it has been an honor, but I miss her presence. I miss the sound of her voice. She's so still when she dreams. I wish she would smile again. Have a good sleep, I guess. Thank you, Walker in the weirdness. Now that wretch is finally gone, I surely will.
Walker in the weirdness. You're here. Finally. You have to listen to me. I need to speak with Yngvi. But ever since the dream began, I can't leave this place. She must hear this before it's too late. That's exactly the problem. Sonder is a trap. No one can go there. Especially not Yngvi. Please, I'm begging you. You have to help us. The Giant Mother, the one we believe to be Mather, wants us to become her children. To surrender ourselves to her care. But why did we ever assume she was Mather? Our Mother Goddess was a warrior. She gave us the strength to stand against adversity, to unite against those who seek to destroy the Dalriada. And what is this dream, if not turning our backs on our kin? On the other tribes who still fight? Are we to crawl under Mother's skirts while the world burns? Sonder is an escape, and now I see it clearer than ever. If we flee into Sonder instead of standing and fighting, we are no longer Dalriada. There is no honor in this. We are on the verge of losing everything. Our identity as Tuid, our very souls. I don't know if it'll be enough, but you have to try. Tell Yngvi that Rune reminds her of the duty of every Dalriada. We stand and fight. We dunny run. The Giant Mother is not Mather. She's nothing but a weak, selfish wretch who would see the Tuid destroyed. I know my plea must sound desperate. If you grant my request, I'll enter Sonder. I'll be thrown into it whether I want it or no. But if that is the only way to save the tribe, then I will do it. I will sacrifice myself for them.
Walker in the weirdness, you return. Welcome. I've heard the voice, but I cannot answer its call. The members of the Thoid tribe are preparing to fall into sleep, and it is my duty to ensure their safety while they do. Ah, Runa. I suppose that means you simply must tell me whatever it is, just because it is his wish. He has told you, I hope, how much he longed to become chieftain. He tried everything to be chosen. One of those attempts nearly cost me my life. But among the Thoid, ambition is one of the gravest sins. That is why I was chosen as chieftain. I was the only one who did not seek it. Does he now? And he's only just come to this realization. Now that he's in there, and I'm stuck here. Let me guess. He wants to switch places. To take the chieftain's seat while there's still a tribe left to lead. Sacrificing himself for the tribe. That is unlike Runa. It does make me wonder. You don't know Runa like I do. He would never do anything that doesn't serve his ambitions. But entering Sonder goes against his desires. And if someone like him acts against his own nature, it's worth considering why. The difference between us is that I face my challenges, while Runa flees from his at all costs. Taking him at his word would be naive, but I cannot ignore what he says. I bear a great responsibility. On the one hand, there is the myth the Thoid have followed for centuries. On the other, my own doubts, and the opinion of a man who's known to work against me. Tell me, Walker in the Weirdness. You do not share our burdens. What would you do in my place? I will. You have my word. You, Walker in the Weirdness, see things in a way the Thoid cannot. We've always placed our trust in intuition. And if mine tells me there may be truth in Runa's words, perhaps I should heed by it. Thank you for your involvement. My duty as chieftain is to hear the voices of my entire tribe, even those who are not respected, like Runa. You may leave me to my thoughts now.
Feel the change coming. Thank you for your help.
darkness. You walk where few dare. I don't feel worthy of asking for your help. I need help. Not for myself, but for those I have failed. My mate Sidara, my friend Bodil, and I went to the Giant's Barrow. We sought knowledge, a sign that we still walked toward Mother's dream. But what we found instead was ruin. Bodil, our companion, did not return. And Sidara, the White's touch took hold of her. She's no longer herself, not truly. Find Bodil. End his suffering. And Sidara, she still sleeps, but her soul cannot rest. They must be freed from this curse. Then, at last, we will have peace. We will join Mother in her sleep. Bodil's earthly vessel might still be in the White's lair. As for Sidara, she sleeps in our hut, beside me. I feel her. So close yet so distant. Please, bring back my loved ones. Free their souls. Then, maybe we can find ourselves again. Join the Mother.
Ho ho ho, you're here. Munvarth knew you'd come, even before we headed to the Mother's chamber. They call me Jarnsford, because that's my name, Jarnsford. So that's why they call me that. Makes sense, doesn't it? He's my friend, my raven friend. I mean, he's a raven. Feathers, wings, a beak, all the raven things. And he's the reason, don't worry. Well, not really him, actually. It's my stupid head, always forgetting things. Before I entered the Mother's dream, I told myself, Jarnsver, remember to let Munvarth out. And, of course, I forgot. Damned useless head. I'd rip it off my shoulders and toss it into the abyss if I could. You will. I'd do it myself, but I can't go back anymore. For Doids, dreams are a one-way journey. Both Munvarth and I will be forever grateful. Here, this is the key to his cage. It works like any key. Just stick it in it, and please, make sure to apologize to Mud.
The Thrum. Thrum.
sit. Sure. Nothing. What a bummer. What's that?
weight, it is lifted. Their souls are free, and now there is only one more task to be done. You must send me to her. Wherever Sidara may be, I will follow. And I know we will be closer to Mother then. More than I have ever been. But listen, my body still clings to this world. The flesh resists what the soul has already accepted. When the moment comes, I may fight. Not because I wish to, but because I am still bound to this place. Still outside Sonder. Not hesitate. Strike true. And when I am gone, let... And yet, there, if you will not raise your blade, forgive me.
Hello, it is you. Did you manage to... Thank you. I hope he finds a new home. I can already feel my burden lifting. Now I can join Mother and Senya in your chamber.
Jarnsfor, Rune, Alfhild, Thrym. You do not yet grasp the weight you have lifted from their shoulders. No matter how great or small their burden, it still bound them, kept them from journeying towards the deepest layer of the dreaming. But now they may step into Mother's chamber, and you shall be granted this privilege as well. After all, this is why you are here, is it not? Yes, that is why you will enter Mother's chamber, Walker. The choices that must be made shall be made within. No matter the outcome, you have the gratitude of all Thoid. Were it not for you, we could not have embraced, we could not have stood before Mother's chamber. Indeed, the
I have watched your journey, Walker in the Weirdness. I saw how you helped the lost Thoid children face their burdens, the weight that kept them from entering this chamber. For that, you have my gratitude. But I know you have your own purpose. Now tell me what it is. So you have chosen to follow the voice of the tribes and his fading hope. Gerfan, a man who so desperately wished to be a unifier, who carries such a deep thirst for retribution. While I strengthened my bonds with the human children of the Thoid tribe, I learned much of his mission. He believes tradition can be a driving force, that some things must unfold as they always have. That is why he waits for Ingavi. But Ingavi's place is here, among us. And when her kin entered my chamber, the Thoid Elder's burden was lifted. She has no reason to remain in a world crumbling into ruin, all for the ambitions of one old man. Rebuilding old myths will not undo the inevitable. The past is a graveyard, Walker. If you keep chasing it, if you keep digging up what was buried long ago...
Enough. There is no reasoning with the giant's stubborn nature. No matter what you say, she'll keep dragging you deeper into the labyrinth of her mind. That is why I ordered the giants to sleep. Their nature was unpredictable. They reveled in strange manipulations, willing to wager their own lives in primitive bets and frivolous games. And so, I speak. Whatever this one demands, grant it. That is the order of the king to whom you swore fealty.
I was wondering how long you would stay silent, letting the human whose body you stole speak for you. You have lasted surprisingly long. I suppose emptiness and oblivion have taught you some humility. Nevertheless, greetings, Arthur. I am glad I have finally dreamt of this moment. The moment I can tell you, face to face, that everything is your fault. Avalon is falling because you existed. Because you continue to exist. This is also the moment I accuse you of murdering my children. And the children of the other giants. Your human king got to know us well. When he ordered the giants to sleep, he knew that our children could not dream. Dreaming is something giants grow into with age. Having no choice but to obey, we left our children behind in the waking world. Alone, defenseless, condemned to the coldness of death. Quiestra, the child I once held in my arms, never dreamed with me. While I built layer upon layer of my dreaming, she was dying. But I had time. Enough time to dream of Sonder. A place and a state where death holds no power. There, I will dream, Quiestra. I will give shelter to the entire Thoid tribe, including Ingavi. I will not abandon any more children to the waking world.
I have made many terrible mistakes during my reign, but I always considered what was best for my people. At least, that was my intention. I wanted to make Avalon our home, free from the plague, free from forces that would seek to oppose us. I thought that my return would restore balance, that I could prevent Avalon's fall.
Your idea of what is good is twisted, human king. As for you, mortal, yes, you need the blessing of the tribes to claim the crown. Those were the terms of the sacred pact, but you will have to manage without the Thoid. They will all come with me into Sonder. I will care for them as if they were my own children. Here you are, at the mercy of the mortal whose body, soul, and mind you have infected. I'm glad to see you trapped so, Arthur. But as for your words, human child, how can I be sure you'll follow through on this decision? Yes. In the end, it is because of you that so many of the Thoid will embark on their journey to Sonder. You have sacrificed yourself for our path. So now, I sacrifice something dear to me. Though it may not be a gracious gesture, I will accept this exchange. Your word for Ingavi. Her fate is now yours. I release Ingavi from her journey to Sonder. May she carry the burden of the Thoid who remain in the waking world. But you, leave now, and let us dream.
Walker in the weirdness, you return. Well, I don't know what to say. Has Mother sensed my doubts? My true burden? Deep down, I've always felt that Sonder was not my destiny. I envied Therov for joining One-Eye's rebellion and getting to see the world. I envied Taranis for his work with the Alchemists Guild. Now I will have the chance to know real life. But I cannot be the elder of a tribe with no tribe. Perhaps I will join those who refused Mother's call. For the first time in my life, I feel free. The Thoid. We have long been divided between those who follow Mother and those who were deaf to her call. Or at least, that's what we believed. That they were cowards, unfaithful, ungrateful wretches. But I was never convinced by those words. To me, they were simply brothers who dared to walk their own path, even at the cost of eternity. I am still Thoid, and I am young. When I come of age, I can bring more Thoid into this world, perhaps even with the help of those who return home one day. I am certain they will be. They will believe what they choose to believe. It will be a new beginning. My role as elder was to guide the Thoid of old to the dreaming. But those who come after them will live in the waking world, and I will guide them too. At last, I will be allowed to grow up. And I'll admit, I cannot wait. It's hard to say, but I don't truly care. They will either accept us, or they won't. But who knows? Perhaps this time we will grow closer to them. I've always thought they envied our direct connection to Mother. With Mother gone, perhaps we will finally build a true rapport. I don't know how Gerfan will react to an elder without a tribe, but, well, he summoned me, so I will come. There is a reason why the Thoid made me their elder. My power, despised by the other Delrida, is truly unrivaled. And on the battlefield, a skilled Thoid is worth 10 Volker warriors steeped in Mather's fury. I know I will always wonder what Sonder would have been like. And I know my heart will grieve for my kin. But something tells me this path is not closed to me forever. If there truly is a place we go after death, perhaps it is Sonder. That would also align with Runa's claim that Sonder is a trap, and that, in truth, everyone dies before entering Sonder. Maybe he was right. If so, then when I die, my soul will awaken in Sonder. I will see my tribe again. And finally, I will meet Mother. That is what I have decided to believe. See you at the moot, Walker in the Weirdness. Thank you for everything you've done for us.
Yes? Who have you managed to convince? This pleases me greatly. The Svein are the finest sculpts this land has ever known. Their skills will be invaluable in the war, and in shaping Avalon afterward. Allow me, in return for your effort and intervention, to return this piece of armor to you. It will improve your chances in the trials of the King's threat. How did you manage to convince the Twyde tribe? They've always kept to themselves, no matter the hardships we faced. You've done the impossible, and I want to give you an artifact the Twyde tribe once guarded. Here, a part to the King's armor they were tasked with guarding. It will aid you as you face the challenges of... Could it be that the Volker have uncovered the truth about Mother? Unbelievable. Of all the tribes, I thought the Volker would be the least likely to show. Take these pieces of the King's armor, once guarded by the Volker. A gift in return for the help you gave him. May they serve you well in the King's threat. You have no idea how glad I am that the threat of Tryggve has passed, and that they've managed to appoint a new chieftain. The members of the Ulfred tribe are always the first to fight. Their strength and endurance are unmatched. Without them, we could forget about any real war effort, especially against Camelot. So, allow me to offer you a gift in thanks for aiding their tribe. A unique piece of our King's armor, forged by Ulfr himself, the very forefather they take their name from. Go now, my king, and reclaim your crown. All the tribes can do now is patiently wait for your return.
just happened? Well, that was not intentional.
I am his burden, the man beneath the myth. I am the face that time forgot, the name that was never enough. He was the man beneath the crown. He was the voice that doubted, the heart that still beat beneath the weight of legend.
First, you used these people to win yourself a kingdom, and now you herded them here under threat of being stomped to death by giants if they leave or disobey. After all that they've gone through, all that they've done, all that they've suffered, this is how you intend to repay them?
No kingdom will stand with people like them within its borders. They would have to change their ways. The Del Rita are not ready for this. You know this.
You did worse than all of them combined, and you are the one responsible for all they've done so far. They fought for your name and under your banners. Does this mean you're not fit to be a king? Not ready to have a kingdom?
I left the heritage of Pendragon behind me. I severed the ties between myself and my tribe. I lost all that tied me to the past when I became king. I set a new path for myself. They are not ready to do that.
Bullshit. You forced them to go against their sacred traditions. You destroyed their identities. They betrayed their comrades because you ordered them to. They kidnapped the children of the giants because you told them to do it. Everything they did was so that you could win this war. And now what? You're going to punish them for being your best, fiercest soldiers, most loyal of your men?
This is not...
So stop with your excuses already. You broke them, and now you're abandoning them to starve or freeze to death in these damned lands.
This kingdom needs to be built on peace, Caradoc. Letting them live among merchants, lords, and ladies in Camelot or Timberwall. How would that go?
Exactly as anyone would expect it to go.
So we would end up with a civil war. Right after we won the war that almost annihilated us all.
Oh, damn you. I've had enough. I stood by you through everything. seawall. I let it all slide. I told myself it was for something, for a noble cause. But this is where I draw the line. I renounce my oaths, and I'm walking away. Put a blade in my back if that helps you sleep. I don't care. Not anymore.
Now I remember it all. I left the best of my people here. I betrayed their loyalty. And for what? Everything is in ruin. Everything I struggled to build is corrupted. This land, it had a glorious past, but it has no future. There is no way to save it. I know. I see it now. And it was my decision that cost them the ability to grow and change. I may have been right about the diagnosis. Now I see I could have been wrong about the cure. The tribes helped us win the war. They were fearless and followed every order. But I left them broken. And after the war, their bloodlust was insatiable. I had to do something. This felt like the only choice. The giants sided with our enemy. We had to find a way to remove them from the equation. So, under cover of night, the tribes stole their children. I told the giants their offspring were our hostages, and that we would slaughter them if they refused to bend the knee. One of the most humiliating moments of that whole war, both for me and for the Del Rita. Caradoc had the clearest eyes of any of us. He saw things for what they were. And I think I destroyed that. Destroyed him with all I did. I turned him into this. And now he's only a shadow of the man. He used to carry hope. Now all he carries is vengeance. I come from the Pendragon bloodline. A heritage drenched in as much blood as that of the Del Rita. A heritage that pillaged and fought in the homelands for longer than anyone can remember. And unable to build anything that withstood the test of time. I decided to leave it behind me when we won the war against the Four-Dwellers, and built our kingdom on Avalon on stronger foundations. Now we've seen that my bloodline must have been cursed. There's nothing left. Nothing worth saving. Nothing worth rebuilding. I gave everything I had to this land. My blood, my soul, my name. And the land devoured it all. I betrayed the ones who believed in me. I cut down the men who fought for me. I turned away from my own blood to build something better. And all I built was another ruin. I thought I was forging a future. I was just extending the fall. what you want. There's nothing about this land that I recognize anymore. All I've ever done got turned into dust, corrupted against my intentions, destroyed. Why bother?
Future King, you return. Speak your will through the mortal you now inhabit. Is it time for us to awaken? We have waited for this moment for ages. We shall return to the home of our ancestors. We are grateful for this decision. Your will shall be done.
We are ready to begin the moot. We were only waiting for your return, once and future king. You were strong enough to walk the king's thread, and you conquered it. What is your will, my king? What decision have you made regarding the giants? I understand your decision, though I struggle to accept it. We had the chance to end the war once and for all, and instead we are left with a fragile peace. I only hope that the threat of the weirdness is real enough that Camelot will turn its strength toward protecting the people and not, once again, to march on. Thank you, my king, for your intervention. I, the voice of the Dalrida tribes, accept your decision with humility and gratitude.
We could have defeated Camelot once and for all. And now, that chance is gone. I should have known this was the decision the king would make. After all, why would he support our tribe? We should at least...
Oh, crap.
Watch yourself outside.
Aye, speak quickly. I'll take...
Oops. Oh, shoot.
Aye. I'll take a look at what... you. I wasn't expecting such a grandiose visit, my king. And I see that you were brought here by some lad. That's kind of you, stranger. But you'll have to pardon the mess. These halls ain't fit to welcome a king, nor the one who bears him within. Ah, right. Sometimes I forget that not everything's as clear as it once was. Truth be told, I tend to lose sight of a few important things myself. But to the point, my name is Gavonin. I'm a craftsman, a blacksmith, and a keeper of this place. The pleasure is mine, kind lad. And your grace, of course. This, kind lad, is the tomb of the knight who never came. There was once a grim legend that claimed this tomb was built out of fear. Fear of an ancient curse Morgana cast upon Arthur. She foretold that all the great knights who were denied the king's favor and honors would rise at the end of days as an army of the dead. They would march on Camelot, seize the capital, shatter the Round Table to dust, defile the royal relics, and from the ruins, forge a kingdom of their own. But those are just stories from the old days. This tomb opens only for two kinds of brave souls. Knights who were never granted a seat at the Round Table. And the king himself. I've been sitting here long enough to know what kind of knight visits the tomb. And your visit is unlike any other. No, I would cease to be. I'm bound here by an oath I made to his grace. The one who now dwells within you, but is perfectly fine. It is my home, and so it shall remain, for all. Anyone who finds their way here usually comes seeking eternal rest. And rest like that calls for a proper gravestone. They also bring battle-scarred equipment. My hammer mends what needs mending, so it will serve them well in the... And the dead? Well, they need a keeper, someone to watch over them when unrest stirs. Believe me, those who chase glory in life don't always lie in peace. Really kind of you, lad, but no. Or, well, maybe there is. You see, I once made a habit of carving gravestones in advance, so that any knight arriving here could choose the one beneath which they'd rest for eternity. Unfortunately, I've misplaced me chisel. It slipped and fell all the way into the depths. Clang, clang, clang. If you could find it, I would be most grateful. If we do not speak of them, then we won't stir their slumber. The dead prefer silence. Best not to call. Aye, fewer nights these days, and even less knighthood to speak of. No wonder that so few of them come. Such are the times we live in. Hope you find something worth.
kept us waiting. Your tomb's gathered quite a lot of cob, best tidy up a little, before you settle in for eternity. Ah, of course. Of all the forgotten knights who never came, you stand closest to the king. When you finally join us, you'll tell us what it was like to hear his voice, to share so many battles by his side. I won't deny my envy, but in death, you'll be our equal. I've met many who said the same, loudly and proudly, like it meant something. Their bones now line forgotten crypts, still clutching that same bold promise. Sooner or later, you'll find yourself on my side of existence. So yeah, no bold promises, unless they carry some potential to be fulfilled. I've been resting in a tomb for the past 3 centuries, so not much, really. I've been resting in a tomb for the past unless, of course, you're pointing out that I'm not in my own grave, in which case, fair enough. But what can I say? I do enjoy the occasional posthumous strolls. I came to this tomb of my own accord, as did many of us. I knew our time was drawing to a close. The gates. I had a few words with Govanon and then headed to the crypt prepared for me. With my own gravestone on my back, I treated it as my penance. Sometimes, when men want something badly enough, they're capable of truly awful things. I killed 5 knights. Each one stood higher than me in the race for a seat at the round table. 4 I cut down during a tournament. The last I drowned in a river. He was drunk as a skunk, didn't even comprehend what was happening. Quite the burden to repent for, wouldn't you say? Fine, lad. If someone's to watch over my corpse, I'm glad it's him. I imagine long ago he had more to do. It's been a... I see. But if I lose with... But if you... Then you're... So... Splendid. Lost. Oh, how I missed that rush. As I promised, I'll serve the 2 of you. Here is my oath. I shall be ready to fight at your side whenever you should call upon me. Thank you.
I still fucking fail. Got it. Shoot. Did find it. Okay.
Glad to see you alive. You did? I try not. Thank you. Here. Ah, Savas still lingers then. I'm not surprised. Some knights wear death like a cloak, and even the grave forgets to close behind them. As for the empty grave, every soul that walks this tomb finds their name carved somewhere. It doesn't mean the end is near. Only that the place remembers who you are, even if you forget. When the body finally rests in the grave, the epitaph completes itself. Hope you find... Welcome, your great. Hope you've... Welcome, you. Hope you...
It must be hard to be denied what you believed was your destiny, to spend your life chasing the unattainable, only to die unfulfilled. It's no wonder they can't find peace. There's a grave ready for all of us somewhere, though maybe not all of us get to see it before it's our time. Did it frighten you? Such a stark reminder. Truly does. But it's not death itself we fear. It's what we leave unfinished. You've seen how it lingers, how it torments those meant to be at peace. Live without regrets, and you'll have nothing to fear when your time comes. Keep going. Avalon has more to show you.
Oops.
Meeting him made me reflect on one thing. How many great knights were swallowed by their ambition to sit at the round table. Somewhere along the way, things must have gone terribly wrong. If men could kill one another for something that was meant to be an honor, I pity the lost knights of this world. I'm glad this one will have a chance to fight at his king's side and serve me as he always wished to.
just yet.
So, you finally made it. Took you long enough. I hope you're ready, because this is it. The beginning of the end. Ready to finish your journey, of course. You've come far, but every path ends somewhere. Yours ends here, in the heart of it all. Philosophically, not you specifically, but someone like you. Literally. Yes, and I was getting quite bored with the wait. This is the Charred Conclave, a graveyard for druids, burned alive as scapegoats for the Red Death. It's a reminder of what happens when people fear what they don't understand. Just remember, this is the point of once you've stepped through, there's no going back. But if you've come this far, I suppose you will go on. Go on.
At last we meet. I've heard much about you. Your choices, your determination. Caradoc isn't easily impressed, but he was impressed with you. Few dare to seek the truths buried in Avalon's shadows. Fewer still make it this far. I was the first. Caradoc followed when my brethren burned and the tear opened. And now, here you are. A truly rare and joyful occasion. Oh, forgive my lack of manners. I am Orin, the last apprentice of Merlin, and the last archdruid of Avalon. I've carried the weight of this land's secrets longer than I care to admit. But names mean little. What matters is the task before us. What lingers here, it's older than Avalon. Older than anything we know. What you see is the beginning of weirdness itself. Its purest form, raw potential, unshaped by anything but its lack of boundaries and limits. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, precisely the opposite of what Caradoc wants. I want you to help me resurrect King Arthur. Properly this time. Ridiculous, I know. But yes, that's what it boils down to. At some point, we stopped seeing eye to eye and chose different paths. Ultimately, though, both our paths led to you. Yes, please let me explain. By the end of his life, Arthur became obsessed with his legacy. He left mementos, artifacts that embodied the virtues he wanted Avalon to preserve. Excalibur, a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. The crown of Pendragon, a beacon of courage and resilience. The shield of Palamedes, wisdom and independence. But Merlin and the others didn't believe that would be enough. The memory of war and the fragility of peace was still too fresh, so they acted. When the king died, his soul wasn't allowed to move on. It was shattered, bound to those artifacts. A clever solution, but ultimately flawed. They feared losing what Arthur represented more than losing Arthur himself. They thought the king's essence would endure if bound to his relics. You can't pick and choose with a soul, but that's exactly what Merlin did. He focused on 3 parts of Arthur: his strength, wisdom, and courage. He left out 2 pieces. One, tainted by the Four Dwellers' magic, was deemed too dangerous. The other was his humanity, the most fragile part. Merlin thought compassion and doubt were weaknesses, unfit for a king. Without them, Arthur became hollow. A king with power, but no heart. That way, Avalon's greatest failure was born. I tried. And I found his humanity. It's here, bound, kept safe. But the Four Dwellers' aspects was left to drift, untethered between worlds. Finding it needed more than magic. It needed someone like you. The horrors you endured on that island gave you something no one else has. You can move through the weirdness, touch it, and return whole. That's why you found the King's soul, bound it to yourself, and came back. No, the Asylum treated you as a subject. I see you as a savior. I can see you're still doubting me. I want to bring back our king, whole and complete. I want him to lead again and safeguard Avalon's future. It won't. This time, Arthur will be whole. A king must be more than power. He must be human. That balance is what will save Avalon. Because I've seen what happens without him. Weirdness preys on the weak, and the people are too divided to stand against it alone. Ever they're left without him, without guidance, chaos takes hold. Division festers. You've seen it during your journeys. If things continue this way, Avalon will tear itself apart long before weirdness finishes the job. They will follow him. That's what helped me bring the king back. Whole and... Now you need to go for... I made my case. Plead this.
I was there when it all began, when Arthur first set foot on Avalon. I was a knight in his army. We believed in him, in his dream, in his kingdom. And for a while, it was glorious. Every battle felt like a step closer to peace. Every sacrifice justified by the dream we shared. But then came the cost. The war crimes, the impossible decisions, the massacres, slaughters, and irrational cruelty. We turned from knights into butchers, all because his dream demanded it of us. At first I told myself it was necessary, that it was the price of building something great. But the longer it went on, the harder it was to believe. That's when I realized Arthur wasn't a god, a savior, or a king. He was just another man, no different from the rest of us, and no man should have the power to demand such sacrifices. But do you understand why I wanted so much? I'd like to believe that after 600 years I've moved past. You need to understand that people thought, and still think, that he was more than human. But he wasn't. He made mistakes, just like any man. And the cost of those mistakes was always paid for by others. I've seen what happens when people cling to kings and myths. They wait, they follow, they waste their lives on promises that never meant anything. But that's not my problem. I'm not here to fix Avalon, or to free anyone. What comes after doesn't matter. Let it all burn. Let it rot. Let it rebuild. I won't be here to see it. Arthur's the only myth that still holds weight. And when he's gone, the rest will rot with him. A puppet king, another empty throne, none of it will last. Maybe they'll keep pretending for a while. Maybe they won't. Then let it. If this world can't stand without a dead king propping it up, maybe it deserves to fall. Let them stand, let them fall. It's not my concern. If the weirdness takes them, so be it. At least it won't be another king's failure. Another lie propping up a dying world. It'll just be what it is. Call it chaos, call it freedom, I don't care. Let them rise, let them fall. Let them tear each other apart. I just want to watch it all come down. See the last lie collapse under its own weight. What comes after? That's for the ones still standing to figure out. I've lived longer than any man should. Seen more than anyone should ever bear. And I've waited centuries for this moment. This chance to end it all. To end him. Orin's a druid. That's what they do. I don't believe it's my decision to make. Not Orin's, not Arthur's, not mine. I've watched this cycle turn too many times. I have no stake in what comes after, only in making sure this nightmare finally ends. We were fools to tamper with forces we didn't understand. Resurrecting Arthur, infusing him with powers of the weirdness. We didn't just bend the natural laws. We Such violations of nature's order cannot go unanswered. The bill comes due, sooner or later. Or this cannot be allowed to continue. Listen, it's taken longer than I ever imagined. But now, here we are. You've done what no one else could. What even I couldn't do. You've brought Arthur's soul back together. Almost complete, but not quite. And because of you, I can finally finish what I started centuries ago. So, thank you for bringing us to this moment. You're close now. Just one more step. The last fragment of Arthur's soul is waiting for you. Complete what you came here for. And then, we'll meet again. As allies, or as enemies. That's up to you. Go. Find the last piece, and let's end this. Whatever comes next, I'll be ready. I hope you will be too.
one who carries what's left of me. Please, don't come any closer. Don't force me to think about coming back again. Just let me finally die. Because I've had enough. Enough of being torn apart and stitched back together. Enough of being used, shaped, and forced to be something I'm not. Do you know what it is like to be a king of nothing? To see the people you swore to protect suffer because of your choices? Or worse, in your name? I've seen towns burnt to the ground, families destroyed, all because someone thought it would serve the greater good. And they called it loyalty. They called it justice. I've been dragged through every dream, every lie they've built around me. And I'm tired. Tired of the weight, of the expectations, of all of it. And most of all, I'm tired of failing. He thinks ending me will free Avalon. But what then? Without an idea, a light to guide them, they'll stumble, lose their way, and turn on each other. People always seek something to follow, something to believe in. Take that away, and they'll tear each other apart trying to find it. Or worse, build something even crueler in its place. Orin wants a king, not me. He doesn't see the broken man behind the myth. But symbols aren't people. Do you know? I want release. I want to stop being a tool in their endless struggle. Kill me. Destroy the last piece of me and use the energy however you wish. Take it yourself and become the new king. Give it to someone else. I don't care. Just don't let me come back. Let me die. Not as Arthur, not as the king, just as a simple, normal. Isn't that what you've been doing all along? Carrying what's left of him? You've already taken up the humanity I was meant to represent. Doesn't that prove Arthur doesn't need me anymore? I don't care. Do you know how freeing that is? To finally not care what happens next? Whether Orin gets his king or Caradoc gets his ruin? To not feel the burden of all, to not see the suffering my name causes. No more deaths in my shadow. Another way? There's always another way, isn't there? Another cycle, another resurrection, another lie to keep the world spinning. But please, not for me. Not anymore. I've had enough. I don't want another chance. I want this to be over. Do what you think is right. That's all I can tell you. And that, you hold the choice. I don't even want to know. Do what? Just let me go. Let me...
no further. I made my... This is...
Go on.
Let me go.
You carried a dying king across the bones of a dying world. Now you stand before what started it all. An idea. I am the reason there must be an ending. I do not guide. I do not judge. I exist so that something can be chosen. I do not offer meaning. I require that one be made. You have brought all things to their conclusion. Now, decide what must remain. Choose, and let the shape of the world follow. You will vanish into the story you chose to restore. You will break the frame, and what follows will not remember you. You will be seen. You will be followed. You will be blamed. You will shape the world to become its witness. Who do you have in mind? Then the idea shall be claimed, its shape worn, its burden. But first, you have to bring silence to what refuses to be forgotten.
If this is what you want, then take it, my friend. But promise me you will learn from my mistakes.
No, I won't let this happen. Not again.
You think any other human could wield this power? I endured 600 years of pain, of suffering, of loneliness. I made the sacrifices, me! And now you think you can take it from me? The hubris. No. I reject your claim. I will reforge Avalon.
You took Arthur's power for yourself. Whatever drove you, need, ambition, or will alone, the strength of a king was now yours to command. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe nobody ever is. But you decided to try. It's a heavy thing, trying to do right where others have failed. Still, you stepped forward, carrying the soul and every choice that brought you here. You ruled not as Arthur reborn, but as yourself, flawed, resolute, untested. Avalon changed beneath your hand, and history will decide what that truly meant. With One Eye and Captain Brandon working side by side, the South found a peace it hadn't known in years. The roads stayed open, the fields were guarded, and the people finally felt safe. No longer bound to Camelot or the Knights of the Round Table, it became a land ruled by its own people on its own terms. Because of you, the men here remained and the Kuanact endured, not just as a place, but as a legacy of quiet defiance and hope. Lord Yvain was remembered as a hero who gathered the wise and set out in search of the Grail, while Kuanact stood as a peaceful haven amid the weirdness. You awakened the giants, only to command their end, leaving no power behind for either side to claim. Without their strength, the balance held, but the divide between Camelot and the Dal Rita remained, wide, bitter, and far from settled. Feargas was named the new Galahad the Loyal. With One Eye and Brandon unable to rally the Dal Rita of the Forlorn Swords, the South remained divided. Feargas prepared Camelot's forces to reclaim the region by strength, determined to restore unity through conquest if necessary. The captain led the South to independence, breaking all ties with Camelot. Under his rule, the Horns of the South flourished. Merchants, pilgrims, and adventurers returned to the roads, and prosperity once again reached the far corners of the land. One Eye ruled the South with the Horns of the South at his side. The Dal Rita, the Forlorn Swords, remained divided, leaving the South strong but isolated. Without wider unity, his rule endured for a time. The future beyond his leadership remained uncertain. Nianta left Kuanact with Yvain, and her fate remained unknown. Yet among the people she once served, tales of her devotion and courage endured, and her name was remembered with respect. Magat left Kuanact alongside Yvain, surprising many who had long considered him harmless and weak. His fate remained unknown, but in time, the people spoke proudly of the last druid, claiming him as one of their own. Urfra left Kuanact alongside Yvain, despite concerns about his age. His fate remained unknown, but the people admired him for finding purpose at the end of his life, and spoke of him with lasting respect. Ailey turned to the merchants for support, and for a time the hospital prospered. But when they began charging patients for care, she walked away and opened her own small practice, refusing to serve profit over healing. With Frail as their new matron, the Volca pulled even further away from the Dal Rita. Hidden among the snowy peaks, they focused on rebuilding their tribe and strengthening their numbers. The berserkers they had once been famed for became fewer and fewer, until all that was left was a fading name, half remembered and half feared. Ingrid turned away from the eternal sleep, choosing life over dreams. In time, she began to rebuild the Thoid among the living, planting the first seeds of a new future for her scattered people. Under Stronna's leadership, the Ulfra found new strength. He rebuilt the tribe and reunited them with the rest of the Dal Rita, restoring their place among the tribes of the Forlorn Swords. With the Stagfather slain and the old bonds broken, Balaam led the Svine towards a new path. He opened the tribe to the other clans of the Dal Rita and guided them to settle in the Mather mines. You placed self at the head of the Children of Morrigan. Operating from the shadows, the Guild reshaped Avalon's politics through quiet influence and assassination, while the people lived unaware of the power that ruled them. You chose to dismantle the Children of Morrigan. There were no more crows to carry out her will, for now. Morrigan withdrew into silence, patient as ever, waiting for the day when new souls would rise to serve her again. After returning to Camelot, Killian lived quietly for a time. When he vanished, few asked questions. Unsettling rumors had always followed him, and most preferred not to remember.
Alrighty then. Oh, that was a good game. Definitely will play it again. Okay, I'm gonna call it. Oh man. So I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, or good night, wherever you are.